Hello everyone and welcome to the Commexis Cast, all the news you need to know from our inbox to yours. I'm Matthew McGrody, the videographer and podcaster here at Commexis, and today I'm joined by the paid placement specialist here at Commexis, James Van Horn.
Hello everybody.
So today we're talking about Google Marketing Live. It's an event that Google has been having about a lot of their different marketing and search algorithm sort of changes and updates and things that are going to be coming in the future. So a lot of really cool stuff that's been going on. We wanted to touch on a couple of them in particular that we think are really, really interesting. So the first is responsive search ads. So Google, I feel like, if I'm correct, mentioned this a little bit previously, sort of something that they were interested in doing. But basically what responsive search ads are is that you provide Google with a certain number of headlines and descriptions. I believe it's a max of 15 headlines and 4 descriptions. And then Google will use algorithms to determine and mix up which ones appear for ads. And they had a nice little visual mock-up too as well that you can find in the link to the description of this podcast, so you can find that there. So Jim, can you tell me a little bit about how that can be used and how effective that might be?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of interesting because if anybody uses Facebook, Facebook's dynamic ads is basically the same exact thing. Mm-hmm. You just enter a slew of headlines, slew of descriptions. Of course, with Facebook, it's imagery as well. And the goal is that it leverages all the different proprietary tools that Google has, like their machine learning, their artificial intelligence, and even their predictive modeling. And the end goal is that it's kind of connecting all the dots instantaneously and providing individual users basically a personalized experience. So essentially, to get the same effect, you'd have to upload in excess of 20 ads for any individual ad group. This takes that heavy lifting out of it, where you just input a bunch of headlines, like you said, a bunch of descriptions, and kind of is like Google's bonus for, hey, allow us to do this, because you can disengage from it and continue to do it manually. Their bonus to say, hey, try this out with us was basically taking up more real estate on the search page. So instead of 2 headlines, these ads get 3 headlines, or can get up to 3 headlines depending on the ad placement. And the description, instead of being limited to 80 characters, it gets bumped up to 90. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like a little offer, I guess you'd say.
Nice little bonus.
Promotional offer, yeah, exactly. Like, hey, try this out and you get this free, So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out because, they do have dynamic campaigns and dynamic ads that they've had out for a while. We run a few for a few clients and they become very effective because it really does dynamically change to suit individual users. Mm-hmm. So, of course, everybody sees the general, hey, buy me, click here, and this and that and the other. But when they see a personalized message, it kind of resonates a little bit more to drive that traffic in and actually get a goal completion.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be really interesting to see how this ends up panning out. Another thing we wanted to talk about was a new campaign type that Google is showing. Actually, 2 new campaign types, but we're going to get to the first one first. So the first one is local campaigns. So this was described as a way to aim driving store visits. So advertisers set a budget. The ads are generated automatically based on some ad creative elements from the advertiser and location extensions and stuff like that. And then Google automatically optimizes the ad delivery across search, YouTube Maps, and websites and apps in the ad networks. So can you talk a little bit about the different uses that this might have?
Sure. They created this for small businesses. Mm-hmm. It's essentially like that motto of set it and forget it. Small business basically links to Google My Business listing and a landing page within an actual campaign. And then Google does everything else. It pulls in the content. What's nice about it is it's a hybrid. And they've had these for a while. They're called smart campaigns. Mm-hmm. The main difference here is that now they're leveraging all properties. Before it was just limited to the search results page. Now they're saying all properties, which includes the Google Display Network, search, YouTube, and in-app advertising. So it's kind of bringing together a combination of text and display advertising. Mm-hmm. So you have the text when it's, a search ad, but it can also pull in images that are on that landing page. So I think the most important thing for any small business to do this is it'll be most effective. Like any business, your website for your digital presence is your core. Mm-hmm. That's almost like your warm lead generator. So the quality of the website will largely impact the success of any of these campaigns. You know, the better quality imagery, the imagery that speaks more to the users you're trying to get in the door, and then also quality content, you know, engaging content, keyword targeted content, things of that nature, that will play a big factor. So, you know, if you have a high quality website, you're a small business that doesn't have a whole lot of money to spend or time to constantly go in there and change and optimize things, this is a great solution, you know, to kind of like dip your foot in the whole Google search realm to see how it performs for you. I see it as a great stepping stone because a lot of small businesses, it's not necessarily the money that's the barrier to entry. It's just the experience, you know, that they're afraid. You know, that they don't trust themselves that, well, I've never used this platform and it looks really confusing, especially a new beta version that they're still kind of rolling out. Everybody can access it, but they haven't quite forced us to use it yet. So that one, it takes some time to get used to. And if you're brand new to AdWords, to paid search, the learning curve is just too much for any small business to take on their own.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, folks, you heard it here first from Jim. You need a great website, and if you don't have one, well, you can give us a call. You can visit our website, Commexis.com.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug, everybody. So one final thing we wanted to talk about, and I'm gonna hand the reins over to Jim for this, was another new campaign type, which are smart shopping campaigns. Jim, can you tell me a little bit about what those are?
Yeah, these are really interesting. It's something I can't wait to kind of dive into once they become available wide. But more or less, it takes, so for a shopping campaign or any e-commerce actually, one of the most effective tools that Google offers is a dynamic remarketing campaign. Now, for me, normally, I won't promote anything on the display network, only because it could end up on any site in any country, not necessarily your target audience. So it's been hard pressed to work unless your only goal is brand awareness. But what dynamic remarketing does is, you know, the person already showed interest, but it will show the exact product that they already looked at on your website. So it kind of follows you around and it just kind of reinforces like, hey, you took a look at this, but you didn't buy it, you know, so why don't you come back and check out with us? And sometimes you could couple it with a discount, you know, like, hey, we do want you as a customer. You looked at this product, come back now and get 20% off. So it's a good way to kind of like reinforce and stick with that customer. And the shopping campaigns, of course, they're huge with Google. Google is pushing the product listing ads everywhere they can. And they take precedent at the top of the search page. So what's good about the new format that they're bringing out is it combines those two. So instead of having separate budget applied to do different campaigns, you can optimize one single budget in one campaign to run your product listing ads across all Google properties. So essentially now to do that, you'd have to have in excess of at least 3 campaigns between a YouTube video campaign, this dynamic remarketing campaign, and then the actual shopping search campaign. So, you know, what I find exciting about this is that the biggest thing with any client of business is return on the ad spend. So if you can combine all that to efficiently and effectively put your products across basically anything Google has their name on, it's only going to give a better return on the ad spend and really drive the revenue home for these businesses in e-commerce.
Well, that sounds fantastic. Well, Jim, that's all the time we have today. Thank you very much for joining me on the show today. If you'd like to listen to more of the Commexis cast or watch some of it, this was mostly audio today. But if you'd like to listen to more of it, you can check us out on TuneIn, Stitcher, the Apple iTunes Podcast Store, the Google Play Music Store, the Google Podcasts app. And if you'd like to watch us, you can check us out on YouTube, Facebook, and IGTV in full, and then you can find nice little snippets on our Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn pages. Thank everybody for listening in and tuning in today, and have a great day.
Thanks, everybody.